PW Hustle Networks present PWR at the Movies. Join the Professor, Tommy Wonder, and JB as they discuss the greatest pro wrestling moments in movie history.
Okay, now, if this doesn't work, we need the jaws of life, okay? All right, boys, once more. Heave!
So, maybe not so much with the buffets for you anymore.
Yeah, I can live with that. Well, it's a big show. Oh, it's a big bad show tonight. Oh, baby, come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a big show. Oh, crank it up, turn on them lights.
What is going on there, Reflection Nights? What is going on there to the Vito Wights, the Hameen Knights, the solitary confinement PWCites? What's going on to the Magnificent 70, Elite 8, the Naughty 9, the Terrific 10? You know who you are. 2025 is in effect, and we are having a ball here at the PWR podcast. The Hameen Media Group at Podbean.com, and it's episode with the PWR podcast to do what we do and go back to the movies. But before we do that, in 2025, something in wrestling is happening. We are old right now because we are entering a dawn of watching wrestling streaming. Who would have ever thought for wrestling fans that you would be watching Monday Night Raw on a Netflix? Who would have ever thought you'd be watching AEW on Max, streaming apps, and all that shit? 20, 30 years ago, I was amped up to watch wrestling on cable. I was amped up for 605. When I heard the letters WTBS Reflectionites, I creamed in my pants because I got to see. Yes, I did. Yeah, it is. Come on, you're a wrestling fan.
And there were no female wrestlers back then. I'm not surprised. Go ahead.
Shut up. But anyway, well, AEW I creamed more because Wendy Richter was there. But again, I was so amped for the cable explosion of wrestling to get the AWAs, the world class, Saturday, WCW Saturday Night, and all that jazz. And now in 2025, I'm a bit nostalgic right now because now we're watching wrestling on streaming apps. What is gonna happen when I die in fucking 30 years? How are we gonna? Are you gonna watch it on your wrist? Oh my! It's gonna happen. You're gonna watch wrestling on your wrist. Well, TW watches something on his wrist, but he does it in the bathroom, and then he has to wipe himself off. But again, that's another story for another day. But before we even get into the introductions, I want to at least hear my compadre on this because we are entering in dangerous grounds here. TW, we are entering the streaming app era of watching wrestling. Even though we've done it for a couple of years with the internet and stuff like that, but it's official. You gotta have a Netflix account, even though if you can find a way to get around that. But again, I'm not trying to, I'm not doing that. I'm doing the legal way of Reflection. Don't talk to me. You can DM me. You can slide in the DMs for the illegal stuff. But again, either here or there, I protected myself. But TW, legally, Netflix, legally, Max, to watch wrestling on the streaming app. Did you ever think we would live to see that day? Let's see.
So it's a new year, new show format. I don't even get introduced anymore.
No. I will do the introductions. I will do that. But wait.
I like it. I like it. We just go right to it. But listen, this is what I hope for. So obviously, the internet nerds are going to find a way. But I believe the first one. I don't want this to happen, but it might crash. And for the record, we're recording this right before that one comes on. In case that's confusing to people that hear this after.
We can't wait for Dynamite on Max. Wink, wink.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, but it runs the potential because it's the first one ever, and there's a difference with Dynamite. Dynamite is also on TV. Netflix is it. So I'm guessing the first episode, there's probably gonna be a handful of people that figure out how to stream it live without having a Netflix account. But my buddy, a week ago, we went to this. We went to the WWE Live Holiday Show at LCA. Nice. And he asked me the other day, maybe it was yesterday, he says, can you record it and watch it later? And I said, well, no, it's going to be live and then it'll probably be a replay situation. However, unless the Hulu deal is over, Hulu gets the rebroadcast. So I don't know how that's going to work.
It's over with Hulu.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. But
luckily he has Hulu because he brought up the point that his son's not going to be able to stay up late and watch it. And I gather the first one's going to go over the 11 o'clock end time, right? But what I hope is, you said it. You couldn't wait. You went with TBS, but I thought you were going to go with Monday Nitro or Monday Night Raw back in the 90s when you had to watch it when it was on unless you had a DVR, which didn't exist in most houses.
No, VCR with the tape.
Right, a VCR, but I mean, the what's that shit called? TiVo. Some people had TiVo in the 90s, right? So if you had TiVo, you could record it. But for the most part, if you missed Raw, you missed Raw. That's why when we do some of them older Raws that we do, I'm seeing them for the first time because I missed it. I didn't see it live. So what I'm hoping is for Monday night to be must-see appointment television. And I'm hoping that we'll get to watch it. The thing I like most about AEW is I have Max, so I can stop recording them on my DVR and deleting them like I do every week without watching them. I did, however, today watch the last episode of Rampage, and as corny and as fucking horrible acting as it was a cool thing. It was different to make it look like he ended Rampage. I like what they did with it. It was because otherwise it's egg in the face because they don't want to call it a failure. They wrote into the storyline. Good stuff. But I'm hoping I'm halfway. I don't even know if I'm halfway. I might be a quarter of the way through Friday Night SmackDown. That is officially 3 hours again. And this is the bane of my existence. I prefer all shows to be 2 hours. And if possible, NXT to be 1. But I'm not going to get that wish. So 2 hours it is for NXT. And Raw and SmackDown are going to be 3 hours. And it's like, I guess on one side, with it being 3 hours, I'm pretty sure the Motor City Machine Guns have been on TV every week since they debuted. And there was a week they weren't on?
There was a couple of weeks they weren't on.
Oh, well, good. So now they'll be able to be on every week because it's 3 hours. I believe in absence makes the heart grow fonder, and that when you aren't on TV every week.
Well, but again, there's a difference between our fandom when cable became the thing. That's why I said I was excited for TBS. That's why I was excited for the ESPN blocks, because again, when you're young and seeing that there's more wrestling out there, that's the great thing. But now our fandom is streaming apps, internet, and all that stuff. So we're the old guys right now. We're the old heads on the block right now. So it's a different atmosphere. Some people are a little bit like numb to it. I guess you and I are both numb to it because it's just another way to watch it. And again, some people will find a way to watch it.
I watched mostly on streams. By the way, cheap plug, not my show, not getting paid for it. We don't get sponsored at all. But the best show on streaming right now is The Landman. It is absolutely gold. If you like Mayor of Kingstown, which is probably my favorite show, this might be better.
Hey, if we can get advertising dollars from them, so be it. PWR podcast will take anything. But anyway, I am the studious one. I am the charismatic one. But most importantly, I am the glorious one. The Professor Chabelle Cruz. I'm doing it abbreviated right now. But again, this man wants to hear his introductions. I know it. I can see it in his eyes.
Was it not happening?
He's lying, Reflectionites. He is really lying through his teeth. That's why he has the hat really down so I don't see his eyes. The eyes tell the story. But anyway, he's the conservative liberal, the liberal conservative, dum-dum doing its own, the Iron Stomach one, and the Detroit Rock City Universal Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Tommy Wonder. See, I always keep it. I keep it 100 for all the Reflectionites right there. See? You're doing the abbreviated right now, so at least no thumbs up. Oh, God, he had to put the thumbs up. So you want to make it rain? Jesus Christ. But anyway, let's get on with this movie edition, TW, because I picked a doozy. And the reason we wanted to go back to the movies was apropos, what the hell are you doing?
I don't know.
What weather you trying to find out? You want a blizzard? You trying to find snow? You trying to find a hot lava, earthquake, volcanoes? What are you trying to do? Fireworks, okay. Jesus Christ. The first of many a 2020 cinco, I'm going to hate it every goddamn time. But anyway, TW, focus here. Can you focus? Can you focus? Thank you very much. But anyway, like I said, since it is the Netflix and Max weekly, let's say, debuts of both wrestling shows, I figured we'd go back to the movies for a minute because we haven't done one in a while. And of course, TW also was a little bit sad that we did not do a Christmas edition of the PWR at the movies.
This fucker had Christmas-like music.
Well, like I said, TW was a little bit despondent, but again, circumstances beyond our control, and I'm not going to get into that stuff. But again, we went on a hiatus a little bit earlier than we would want to. But during those traditions, I would try to find something, not Christmas themed, but still try to do something to end the year on a movie tip. So it's apropos. I start the year on the movie tip, and I pick, could we say it's kind of Christmas-esque? It is one of those joyful family kind of movie editions, if you will, Reflectionites. And we're going all the way back to 2010 TW. And funny enough, this is not a WWE Studios produced movie. No. This is No, it's not. I thought it was. That's why I picked it. This is a Samuel Golden production edition movie that is starring Big Show Paul Wight. I kid you not. And the movie is called Knucklehead from 2010. But before we get into the movie reflections like we do, we always have to talk about the business itself. So TW, I'm going to say this. I'm not talking about the wrestling business here, TW. Follow me here. But we know that the Big Show, being 7'1", over 400 pounds, very stoic, he's not a hard guy to miss. So, of course, he had to go and do the Hollywood thing. Now, the first time I remember seeing the Big Show was in Jingle All the Way, and that was back in 1996, where he played a 7-foot mall Santa going one-on-one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. After that, I don't remember any Big Show movies unless it went direct to DVD and all that shit. But this movie, I found this gem of a movie, Reflection Nights. I kid you not, but you know, that the hashtag is we watch the movie so you don't have to. But anyway, this is a movie I found, Knuckleheads in 2010. But TW, in the sense, we know that the Big Show is a big presence. So of course, it's apropos for him to even venture into the Hollywood scene, no matter what. If he has to go to the Diddy parties, so be it. But he has to sacrifice his booty hole to get those acting roles.
You can
But I can't relate. I just watch. But yeah, if you watch, you haven't done anything. But again,
you want to watch two dudes bang?
To blackmail you later. But anyway, neither here
You
nor
want to
there.
watch two black dudes bang? What the
No,
fuck?
blackmail. But anyway, Jesus.
Two
Christ.
black
But anyway,
males. That's what I said.
no, two black males, not two black males.
Two
But
black
anyway,
males. Yeah, I heard you.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, TW, follow me here. But the only comparison we could have to the Big Show in terms of Hollywood is Andre the Giant. But when I think about that, TW, Andre the Giant had, I guess he accepted his gigantism, if it, you know, that disease.
Dwarfism.
It's not dwarfism, it's
It
gigantism.
is. Dwarfism can make you either small or big.
Well, he's
You're
gigantism,
dwarfing.
but he accepted his 7'5" presence, and he knew that if he wanted to venture for Andre purposes, Andre knew he had to be the big guy in the movies, and he had two great roles, two infamous roles. Andre the Giant was Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man. You itching all the time? Do you take a shower, man? God damn it! You can't be itching that much.
I shower after I jerk off.
You're making me scared for when I hit 50. I'm gonna be itching like that. But anyway,
Bitch, I'm 51.
I'm just saying, when I hit 50, I'm gonna be itching.
Why are
like
you
that.
killing yourself in 30 years, by the way?
It's called life.
70s?
But anyway,
You're going out in the 70s?
you never know. But anyway, neither here nor there. Can we get into this?
91 right here, buddy.
I hope I go to 99. But again, neither here nor there. But Andre the Giant picked two infamous roles. He was Bigfoot in $6 Million Man, and of course, he was the lovable giant in The Princess Bride. So those two roles itself were great roles for Andre the Giant. He accepted his larger than life size and all that stuff. Big Show, to me, I've seen him with this movie, and we'll talk about that in a minute, Reflection Nights. He did the Netflix family comedy show. He did Jingle All the Way. And I don't think the Big Show wants to be typecast as the big monster, the big guy in any kind of movie, because
Wait a minute.
it's
He was
kinda
in
like-
Jingle All the Way?
Yes, he was.
The Schwarzenegger movie?
Yes, he was the mall. He was the 7-foot mall stander. He fought one-on-one with Schwarzenegger.
I guess that makes sense because Waterboy was before that, right? That was Captain Drano or whatever.
Yeah, he was Captain Sano.
Yeah, that's Waterboy, right?
Yeah, that was Waterboy. But again, those were small little bit parts. But you know, again, I think there's a difference between Andre accepting it and Big Show. Maybe he doesn't want to be
Exploiting it.
or exploiting it. Whatever you can. So what say you, TW? Because the only comparison with the Big Show is Andre the Giant. Stop it with the goddamn
No,
door.
that's not true.
Really
Got
not.
that ash.
What?
He's the big guy in every movie. Got beat up by fucking Wolverine, was it? Or Deadpool? Well, one of them. Deadpool. He got beat up by Deadpool.
Punisher.
And the Punisher. He also got killed by Deadpool.
Yeah, and he did the movie with Adam Sandler in the prison, Longest Yard. But he did not. But he was not the fucking 7-foot monster. He was trying to be
6 foot. He's 7 foot.
He's
6'10".
6'10". He's 6'10". But anyway, TW, what say you? Again, you have to we have to compare Big Show with Andre.
I would say Big Show, first of all, God bless him. Andre couldn't talk for shit, right? So that didn't help him. So of course he had to be that. Big Show is almost endearing, right? Like he like in this movie, he's simple, which could come across as sling blade-ish, but he's simple, so he's lovable. You know what I mean? And at one point, he's holding hands with. I pulled her up because I want to know her damn name because I see her in a lot of stuff, and she is the absolute best MILF out there, Melora Hardin. She's holding his hand, and I'm like, is he jamming that sausage inside of this little bitch? But it's more of a brother sister. Like he's slow, and so she's helping him. He's the big slow, like slow mo with Joe. So she's just guiding him through life because he's an unadopted kid that's now 35, and he works at the orphanage because he never made it out of there. But she's helping him. This has almost got an Amish flair to it, that he goes out and finds himself and leaves the Amish reservation and then comes back a better man. But that role's perfect for him. Like, as far-fetched as this movie is, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it with someone the size of the Big Show, who's also not as mentally sharp as you and I, that he wouldn't know better than to be in the situation. But you said something to me before we started recording. You said, I know you didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. I actually did like this movie. I actually would watch this movie again.
Stop the press's reflection. He liked this movie. He really liked it.
And the funny thing is now I know why, because you said it's not a WWE Films movie, because that seems to be the kiss of death. Those movies, it's like they save money on writing. You know what I mean? Like, the production's fine, the videography's fine, the acting is not always great, but it's okay, but the writing is god awful. And this movie, man, it's got one of the goats in it. Dennis Farina? Come on. And then it's got that chick, Melora Hardin. She's in everything, and I don't know her name, but she's absolutely, 15 years later, she probably doesn't look like she does in this movie, but everything I see her in.
Let me clear myself. Maybe WWE Studios didn't produce it, but probably it went to WWE Studios with the DVDs and stuff like that. So it probably had something with some kind of credit with that, because I don't know if anybody's really gonna hire the Big Show for a lead acting role. Reflection, I know. So you don't slide into the DM saying, no, this is a WWE Studios picture extravaganza. No, I don't care. First of all, I don't care. But second of all, we were just picking the movies. I was on Tubi, Reflection, and this just came up. You could not miss this. You cannot miss the 7-foot guy.
But it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
Dennis Farina would actually disagree with you. He said he's embarrassed by this movie.
Dennis Farina's dead, so that's what he gets for fucking shitting on this movie. But you got Dennis Farina, you got Wendy Malick, you got that hot ass MILF Melora Hardin, you got the chick that you probably don't know who this chick is, but the chick that is making the moves,
the stripper chick that likes
Tina. She's the madam on the show with the Punisher, Hung. Where he's a prostitute, the male prostitute. She's his pimp, and then you also have my man from Role Models, from Fred Claus. He's all grown up now. But my little man, Bobby J. Thompson, is in this movie for about 2 seconds, and he steals the scene when he's in it. It's just, and then the main guy with the Big Show and her is, what's he from, Suits or something? Mark Feuerstein?
I think so. I think he's from Suits and all that. It's an
one of them USA shows.
It's an ensemble cast, Reflection. Don't get me wrong, TW. I agree with you. It's an ensemble cast. But again, when someone like with the acting credentials of Dennis Farina says this is an embarrassment, I don't want to talk about this movie, it speaks volumes. That's all I'm just saying. It just speaks volumes when Dennis Farina.
Which is ironic because he's the same in this movie as he is in every other movie he's in. Again,
he says he's just embarrassed. Who says he's wrong? He got
Royal
paid.
Pains. He was on Royal Pains.
He got paid. Well, Dennis Farina got paid. That's all that matters to him. He got paid. So it is what it is, Reflection. But, grand opening and grand closing. If it got into the theaters, it didn't make a lot of money because I can't even find the money. Well, wait a minute. Oh, I did find the money. You know how much money it made in the first week?
$100,000.
Nope.
$24,300.
Less.
10,000.
Less.
Wow, 5,000.
More.
So it didn't make money. It lost money because it cost more to just put it in the theater.
It made $8,000 that weekend.
Wow. Total?
So, Tony Khan, Vince McMahon did the Tony Khan. He bought $8,000 worth of tickets. So this way the WWE personnel has to go to the theater.
Almost exactly the amount he bought for the Wembley Stadium show to make it look like it was more people.
Oh, don't say that. The neckbeards will come after you. But anyway, let's get into this.
Full force on that damn Facebook.
Let's get into this movie, TW, because again, it stars the Big Show Paul Wight as a 35-year-old virgin orphan named Walter Crunk. Nobody wanted to adopt him, and And of course, like you said, TW, he is ingratiating himself as a helper for this orphanage. And of course, you need a great plot. And the plot is the orphanage is losing money. It owes a big debt and all that stuff. So TW. And what?
They missed out on some bill payments, and one of the big ones came back to bite them in the butt.
All I'm just saying is real life, they don't get taxed. So why are we going to build a church? That's all I'm just saying. What do you got? You got Lita. She's not in the movie.
My buddy got me Razor.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3 Kid. Or does it say Xbox? 6.
Mm-hmm.
Warrior. And I had to find Lita on my own. Go ahead, keep talking.
Oh no, you got me distracted with your unboxing already. And I'm trying to do the movie edition. But anyway, he's the lovable orphan who's trying to help out. And he, with the orphanage heavy in debt, who cares about Chris Jericho, TW? Jesus Christ. This is the thing, Reflection Aids. For all the audio reflectionists who does not see this, I'm looking at TW because I'm trying to have a rapport with him. And then, of course, he's just, oh, I got another one. Oh, I got another one. Oh, I got another one. Let me show it out. I'm trying to do a goddamn show. My goodness.
I'm all done now. You wanted 45 minutes. We already did the movie.
No, we didn't. Because there's levels to this. There is levels to this. The orphanage is losing money. And, of course, somebody else is heavy in debt. And that is a charlatan. That is a con artist. That is a former retired MMA fighter, Eddie Sullivan, who's trying to train a new fighter so he can win $100,000 at the New Orleans UFC show, TW. So you got a plot there. You got somebody hard up for money. And, of course, you got an orphanage hard up for money. And, of course, that comes together because, again, Eddie Sullivan, it must be a sign of God that he finds Walter Crunk and he can see him to be his next big project, his next big thing for this New Orleans UFC special event. What say you, TW, about this plot?
Well, you missed out the biggest point.
What's the biggest point?
How he found him.
Well, he was praying.
Why? Because he just doubled or nothing on this sure guy who got knocked out in one punch by Red Rum. Mm-hmm. Red Rum knocked him out in one punch. And then he went to church and said, look, man, I'm sorry. I'm just, can you give me a bone? And then the Big Show fell through a wall from Wendy Malick pushing him. And he thought it was God sent him down to him, which obviously he didn't think that. And then immediately we were off to the races on the little tour bus.
Off to the races of the little tour bus. And the only special thing, TW, about this movie is really because it is kind of, well, it's UFC-esque, it's boxing-esque, it's wrestling-esque, because Big Show had fights in this goddamn movie. So that's why I said, okay, we could do this. We could talk about some of these fights right now. And of course, the only thing that makes this movie good, and that's in the middle of the movie, is the bus scene where Big Show, who had a buffet, I don't know if it was a tortilla buffet.
Right. Best line ever. That's the best line of the whole movie, is at the buffet.
Yeah, the buffet and all that stuff, but it's what he did on the bus after eating all of that buffet. And of course, you have to do that toilet humor, but a 7-foot guy who cannot fit in those charter bus bathrooms, shitting up a storm, and you can't open the window. That's one of the best things. And he's like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And they need the jaws of life to, get him out of the toilet bowl. But again, neither here nor there. But TW, again, it is I don't want to say a coming of age movie, but of course, Big Show does not know about the real world. He has not been exposed to the real world. Again, 35 years old. All he knows is the orphanage. All he knows is the boys in the orphanage. All he knows is Wendy Malick. All he knows is what's the girl's name that you like? The Melora, his sister.
Melora Hardin.
Melora Hardin, his sister, if you will. So that's all he knows. That's his world. That's the only world he knows. And of course, you got a con artist that needs the Big Show to kind of like unleash the animal in him, to unleash the monster. But that's the draw. That's actually supposedly the yin and yang of this movie. That's what makes it funny, because while Eddie, being a shark, a con artist shark, sees gold in this monster, this 7-foot monster, Big Show doesn't know how to fight. Big Show doesn't know how to wrestle. Big Show doesn't know how to defend himself because he never had an opportunity to do that. So TW, since you kind of like this movie for all this coming of age, what say about all this ingratiating stuff right now?
It's like I said, it's far-fetched, but he's the guy that it would work with if you just took him and said, go fight. And what they do awesome in it is, they don't necessarily do it in the beginning, but, they're on tour, basically, and he has the heart-to-heart with Melora, whatever the fuck her name is, Hot Mod. About she's wanting to go back because nobody really wants him to either get beat up or beat people up and feel bad about it. So, because after all, we came from a Christian orphanage. But he says, listen, I'm on the road for the first time in my life. Like, he's out there sowing his oats. And he said, and I finally get a chance to be something that I probably won't even be, but I have a chance to be it. And she goes, what's that? He goes, the hero. So he's doing it all for good. He's trying to save the orphanage because he left the other kid who's well on his way to being the Big Show part two. He tells him to watch the stove while he goes and drops base in that toilet. That's also another funny scene because the chick, the MILF, is waiting outside the bathroom, hearing all the farting and everything, goes, oh, Big Show. And then the nun comes out. Not Big Show, Wendy Malick. But while he's waiting to shit, the kitchen catches on fire, burns down, so now he feels responsible. So he wants to do it not because he wants to hurt people, but he wants to make things right and go fight. And then there's the part where the girl, again on the bus before that breaks down, is telling the main guy, he's not a fighter. And he's like, I'm a fighter. Like the little kid that I told you he comes across as. And it's just very endearing. And I would say this, on the caliber of movies, it's below a Lifetime movie, but above an after-school special, the writing and the acting, right? Like, it's corny, it's cheesy, it's predictable. They try to throw curveballs in there that aren't going to be. I do, however, like the fact that you would think that
for better context reflection, it's below a Lifetime movie, but a pretty much levels above Wrestlers versus Zombies, levels above the Tommy Dreamer horror movie and all that stuff. So that, just giving you
I wouldn't even say Big Show's a bad actor. He like, I feel like I was watching him in real life, not acting, like a fly on the wall, if you will. But the good thing they do is he starts apologizing to the people that he's knocking out because he feels bad because he's doing it for the right reasons. And it's, like I said, it's endearing and it's believable, but not like it almost, what it comes across as? Body Slam. Yeah. How Body Slam was. Like, these guys just decide to say, fuck it, I'm going to be a wrestler. And they just run down to the fucking local gym, hop into the ring and wrestle people, and then all of a sudden they're on tour worldwide. That's not how it works, right? But
I get what you're saying.
Token, everywhere they show up in the beginning is some fucking weird backyard carney.
Not
backyard wrestling.
I'll disagree a little bit. Not Body Slam, but no holds bar, where you feel like you could fight and then you get on TV and then you become Zeus and all that stuff.
Right,
so
right.
It's kind of like that kind of I get what you're going with that. But
they also tie in a little bit of internet fame in there because there's the scene where they finally make it to New Orleans and he's trying to sweet talk the guy into giving him a fight because he's not really booked to fight.
Well, there's certain YouTube moments that Big Show has ingratiated himself with. He had to tackle the promoter's dad through a fence.
The backyard wrestling promoter, Bobby J.
Right, the backyard wrestling. And then he had to choke out a literal bear, a koala bear. I forget, a polar bear.
Koala? It was a fucking grizzly bear. What the fuck?
Grizzly,
fucking koala bear. That's a stuffed animal.
This movie gives me a brain fart. That's what it is. But anyway.
You didn't watch it.
Yes, I did. What are you doing?
Trying to make it rain, man. How'd I do that shit?
Can you stop it? Can you please stop it? We're trying to do a little decorum here, please. A little decorum. Find the fireworks. That's it. Jesus Christ. But anyway.
That's a good picture. Rafe screenshotted that one. That was a good picture.
Of what?
Watch.
He doesn't do that. Jesus Christ.
He does do that. He put the one, he says Tom had killer eyes or whatever, dreamy eyes.
Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. But reflection, I will try for you. I will try. Thank you. whoever thank you, Sky, for at least not having all the fireworks, do everything. But anyway, TW for the Big Show, the maturation of the Big Show goes even levels to himself, because again, like you said, he's a duck out of water in not knowing the real world and all that stuff. Okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough. But for Big Show, even in this movie, you can even look at his appearance, because right behind me, TW, is his first wrestling.
His head's cut off.
Well, his head's cut off, but his wrestling gear is right
his gear. Here. He wrestles in your sleepwear. Yeah.
Not my sleepwear, but this is his sleepwear, his Fruit of the Looms, and a t-shirt. That was his first wrestling gear. And then, of course, he had the bushy hair. And, of course, he does not look intimidating. He just looks, like you said, like Forrest Gump. He's very slow. And, of course, he is. Mama says, stupid is as stupid does. But again, during the movie, the maturation comes, and the stripper girlfriend cuts his hair, gives him a good outfit and all that stuff. So TW, he gives him a makeover and all that stuff. So TW, what say you about the Big Show with his appearance like this? The first appearance in his underwear, trying to wrestle, trying to fight, and then, like you said, he doesn't know how to fight. He's got to learn as he goes on the job.
What I didn't like about that scene is he was already in the ring, right? Which, by the way, I watched Chris Jericho versus who did he wrestle? The last Rampage.
What are you talking about? Oh, the Acclaim. He fought the Acclaim.
Yeah, you, the guy that looks like you in the Acclaim, the gay one. But he wrestled him, and I looked at Big Jericho, and I thought, man, he's let himself go again, right? He looks terrible. And I thought, he should be a guy that they're already in the ring, Chris Irvine, right? So what I didn't like is that crowd. It was rough and rowdy. It was hillbillies. It was backwoods. And the guy that they had as their champ, it would have been awesome if they were all for him, and then they announced Big Show, and then he came out. And even though he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, just sight alone would make people go, whoa, right? And they didn't do that. Yet when Big Show and Will, what the fuck's his name?
Walter Crunk.
Eddie.
Oh, Eddie.
When Eddie and when Eddie and Big Show walk into the bar, the band stops playing and goes, whoa. And then he goes, nothing to see here, just two good-looking guys here picking up chicks. Go back to what you are. And then they went right back to playing. So if the bar has that response to him, why didn't the fans in the damn barn that he was wrestling in? And I get it. They were probably saving that spot for the band, because if you did it twice, it would not be as funny as the band. But I forgot what I was saying. I love when he comes back to the table with all the food, and he looks at him, and the stripper goes, what? It's all you can eat. He goes, yeah, not eat it all. And I was like, I am fucking using that on Travis for certain the next time we're at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh, great. Oh, my goodness.
Not eat it all. And then also, I like that they introduced Tina, because you're thinking the whole time they're setting up Big Show and the MILF get together and then adopt the kid.
It wasn't going to be Big Show and her. It was gonna be Eddie and her. You could see the sexual
right. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's my point. Is in a cheap Lifetime Hallmark movie, Big Show and her end up together. They adopt Henry, who also hasn't been adopted. But instead, now you introduce Eddie. So of course Eddie and the MILF Mary are gonna end up catching some feelings, but they added Tina, who, they do the old cliche, she's trailer park, she's a stripper, all that, but she genuinely is just attracted to this guy, right? Like, she doesn't know he's the internet guy, whereas the girl in the bar did, that was hitting on him, the little hottie in the bar. So I like that they paired them both off, and everyone's happy. You're not bummed out that he had a crush on her and she ended up with Eddie.
Right. So with that being said, TW, let's at least talk about the matches that the Big Show had, the maturation of the matches before he got to the finals with Red Rum at the New Orleans UFC match. Because again, like I said, the first match he was wrestling in his underwear or boxing in his underwear. So
he's probably wrestling in your underwear because he probably accidentally put them on when you guys were done.
Hell no, I wear boxer briefs.
Otherwise, if it was boxer briefs, it was yours. It's definitely possible you could have accidentally put your underwear on, just not those.
Don't you remember the 2025 resolution? You said, "Little decorum here." That's all I'm just saying.
I don't
just
remember this. I don't remember.
Well, you was drinking, but anyway, neither here nor there. But TW, let's talk about these fights here. What fight caught your eye and all that stuff? Did you like the way? I hate to say it in wrestling terms, the way they booked the Big Show in his fights and the levels that they did.
My favorite, because the other ones were all cliche. He just stood there and then hit a guy. I did like the little Japanese guy that did the cartwheels and shit, and then he picked him up, headbutt him. That was the guy he apologized to. I liked that one, that spot. But my favorite, the one that I didn't see coming, which in hindsight, how did I not, is when he's in the fucking barn and the guy goes, "Look, man, the best advice I can give you is just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving." And then Scooby-Doo to he's fucking wrestling a bear. And then the bear swatting Eddie in the dick. And finally he puts to sleep. And then the bear crawls off after getting knocked out. Like, it should have showed ass or shit in the fur by the ass of the bear because it shit itself from getting knocked out. That's why UFC fighters tap out, so they don't shit themselves, right? So that, and then the fact that he just hugged it to sleep and go, "Just go to sleep, little bear." That was my favorite. And then at the very end, the same guy who had concern for Big Show and said, "Just keep moving," is now calling them all animals because he beat the bear. And I'm like, easy, buddy. It's only $500. I'm sure you won money every other time. This time is the one time you lost. But that was my favorite fight, was the bear.
So you didn't like where he did the spear on the father? But even though that he had to be coached into like being violent.
That was him getting hyped up, and then he went out and beat up the wrong guy.
Well, Eddie was being the con artist Eddie then, because again, with the levels reflection as was, Eddie did not, I would say, respect Walter Crump to a degree. He was using him because, again, he's big, he's 7 foot, and he can get over. It was
a way out of his problems.
It was a way out of his debts and trying to pay the money that he or his father owed to the loan shark, played by Dennis Farina and all that.
It was him. He kept losing bets, and then he double or nothing did.
Of course, gambling is a tricky business. But anyway, there is an antagonist in this movie, TW, and that is to my immediate right, and that's Dennis Farina, the man who hated to be involved in this movie. He is you could say the loan shark, you could say the mafioso, or whatever the case may be. So, TW, what say you about Dennis Farina's, involvement in this movie?
Him and Red Rum are fucking cracking me up the whole time they're together. Like, this is him. This is vintage Dennis Farina. I can't believe he's upset by it. Maybe because he's not in it enough, because he's not the star. But when he's telling Red Rum to rough up Eddie, and he's like, "Well, don't you want your money? If I rough him up, it kind of makes it harder to get the money." And he's like, "This isn't negotiable. Hit him." And then he hits him. And then later on, he beats him up again. He beats up the dad. And that's another inconsistency, is Red Rum's this guy with a conscience, and then all of a sudden he doesn't have one at all, and he's just beating the shit out of everybody, right? And I
don't know if it's having a conscience. I think he'll do anything for money. So it's just like what he did for.
Yeah, but then why didn't he just punch him in the first place?
Well, you got to pay him first.
That was the other thing. You might be right, because the other thing is he kept trying to come off as smarter than he was. Like, he didn't want to be seen as a dumb meathead, because he kept saying, "Oh, that's ingenuity," or not ingenuity, whatever the fuck. Because he said, "We're making it up as we go, improvising." He said, "That's improvising." And then Dennis Farina was just like rolling his eyes, like, "Shut the fuck up." But it was the two of them. The two of them were a nice side plot of the two of them having their relationship. It was all right. Reminds me of Bookie.
Boogie? What's Boogie?
Bookie, how the all of them interact together, and it's like they're all ribbing on each other, but they're all friends at the end or whatever. That's kind of how Red Rum and what was Dennis Farina's name in there? It was Memphis Earl. Yeah.
Well, again, like I said, he's like a mafioso boss and all that stuff. You got to pay him. He's a loan shark. Small time mafioso, small time loan shark, but you got to pay him. That's all it is. But there's literally nothing left reflection-wise with this movie, because again, it has his moments with the fighting and all that stuff. The bear is one thing. His first match, getting, let's just say, paying your dues, if you will. The guy bites Big Show in the ass and all that stuff. So of course, Big Show has got to learn.
Did you catch the blooper, the deleted scene where it showed that before, and Big Show looked over his shoulder and said, "Professor, is that you again?" But it was cut out.
once the credits hit, I was like, what's the next movie that I could find for WWE purposes? But you still got to talk about the only thing that makes this movie watchable if you want. And that's the bus scene where the Big Show, who had a buffet, all you can eat it all that stuff.
Wasn't that based on that really happened to him on an airplane? They had to land the plane because he shit in the bathroom and it fucked the cabin up of the plane.
I think he wanted that in the movie, not for his own experiences, but every giant. Andre had problems. But
yeah, but I'm saying, didn't that really happen to him on an airplane?
I think it happens. I think it's just common for anybody his size. It happened to Andre.
They had to land the plane because he blew out the bathroom.
No, that was Andre. I don't think that was Big Show.
Oh, that was Andre?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, but Big Show wanted to make sure that you had to have that small bathroom scene in the bus. And the reason I want to talk about that scene, even though I guess that's my favorite scene of this movie, Reflection. But the the funniest part was it's not about him, you're hearing the toiletries and the farting and all that stuff and the constipation. And I'm sorry. I'm laughing, TW, is because in the back, he opens the door, but he's shielding two guys that can't move. They can't open the window. I'm looking at it.
Fucking dead nuts in front of his face.
I'm just looking at the two guys at the back rows. Sometimes you like, oh, I got peace. No one's really gonna go to the bathroom. Big Show goes to the bathroom and blocks them from trying to get away. Because if it was me or if it was you, I'd go over you. I don't care. I'm going over people. I'm not trying to go through the aisle. I'm just going over people. I don't care. I'm stomping on people. What's ATW? Because again, I feel sorry for the two guys in the back, way in the back, because that was basically all of what the movie was about to me.
Yeah, it's hilarious because the one guy yells at the other guy, "Open the window!" and he's trying to get the window down and it won't open, and they're just getting mad at each other because they're stuck there.
Those charter buses are cheap, though. You can't even open the window for no.
Travis told me, and that's probably not even Greyhound, but he goes, Greyhound is the thing you ride once just to experience it, but wherever it is you're going, you're not taking the Greyhound back. You're flying back or taking the train because you're not getting on that bus a second time, especially the longer the trip. My brother, I got him out of prison he left on, I believe, Friday night. He left to Oklahoma prison, and it took 24 hours to get to Detroit.
Right.
On that Greyhound, nonstop. They stopped for gas probably or whatever, but that was it. And he said it sucked.
All I know, ride the front in the Greyhound so this way you can get off the bus quickly and get the bathroom quickly. Yeah. So with that being said, TW, let's put a bow on this. Do you recommend this movie for people?
Yes, 100%.
Wow.
I would absolutely watch this movie again. TW,
remember, I jokingly said Reflection Nights to TW. I said, you can watch this movie with your girlfriend. Did you? Did you?
Almost. I got home last night from the Lions' awesome victory. And when as soon as I got in bed, she took NyQuil or whatever brand of whatever she had. I can't find her fucking.
What do you do?
There, I found it. All right. I was like, I'll probably fall asleep watching it, but I gotta watch this show because I learned my lesson last time we recorded the show. If I don't watch it on Monday or at least Sunday before we record on Monday, I fucking don't remember nothing. Like it's got to be fresh in my mind when I watch it. So today I had some plans. I ended up backing out of them because I'm still redoing my house a little bit. So rather than go do what I was doing, then come home and then rush to watch this movie, mostly because it is a movie. Like with wrestling shows, I can fast forward through matches just to get to finish the beginning, and if I see something while I'm fast forwarding, stop it and watch it. You can't do that with a movie. You gotta watch the shit. So I was gonna make her watch it with me, but as soon as I hit the pillow last night, I didn't even make it to the remote to even hit play, and I fell asleep. So I watched it this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, this was a movie you could watch with your girlfriend. So it is a movie. It is a Netflix and chill kind of movie, but it's on Tubi Reflection. So
you probably watched it. Speaking of Netflix and chill, you probably watched it with 8-track.
Hell no. I got hoes in different area codes. But with that being said,
he's not in Jersey.
Huh?
He's not in Jersey.
It's not like him. I'm just saying I got hoes in different area codes. But again, we close on this PWR at the Movies special. You can say it's a late Christmas gift for TW because, again, I usually do I do a movie during the Christmas time. So you got your late Christmas present from the professor. And that being said, TW, what
did we do two last year? I think we did. We did Santa's Little Helper and Goldberg's Slave.
No, we did a Ms. Christmas movie, and then we did a movie.
That's Santa's Little Helper.
Well, that was Santa's, but Goldberg was the year before. We did a different movie. Because
I own both of them movies, and I'm like, look at this shit. So that Goldberg movie was 2 years ago?
Yeah. Just shows you we've been doing this a lot. We've done this a whole lot. But again, we close on this PWR at the Movies special. What we're going to do next week, I'll keep you on your toes, but I think we're going to hit a little spotlight edition. But with that being said, TW, give out those socials so we can finally get out of here.
All right. You can catch the Pro Wrestling Coalition on probation at PWC Network at podbean.com. You can catch Hami Media Group at podbean.com, as well as HMG at channelattitude.com. Catch us on the X at PW Reflection. And you can catch Travis, since I talked about him twice, at Nuts and Bolts, VOELTZ, PW, at Nuts and Bolts, PW. And you can catch Big Ray everywhere on socials, at Big Ray Hernandez. And every Wednesday, he's live with The Next Level. That's capital N, lowercase e, capital X, capital T. I believe you joined him last week, did you not?
Yes, I did.
On The Next Level. And one of these Wednesdays, I'll be able to join him. I just have to be on vacation. You can catch me on X and Instagram at TommyWonder19, or you can catch me at X and TikTok at The Tommy Wonder. And then Snapchat, #Wonder, Facebook.com/TommyWonder. And you can catch Noel and Big Vito at the Big Vito brand on TikTok. You don't stop.
And you can find me on my X at PWSOPROF. That's PWSOPROF. And this gets uploaded by A-Track Brown, the slowest motherfucker year round. But anyway, he is the slowest motherfucker at the number 8, TRAC Brown. And of course, follow my other brother, Billy Ray Valentine at Obi-Wan, you know me. And again, next week we'll probably do a spotlight edition. I just don't know just yet what we're going to do, but I'll keep you on your toes, Flex Nice. I'll keep you on your toes. And with that being said, I'm the professor. That's Mr. Wonderful, Dum Dum It's on the Iron Stomach one, the man who keeps annoying the shit out of the professor with the fireworks, with the rain, with the thumbs up, and all that stuff. And the undisputed, undeniable Detroit Rock City Universal Heavyweight Champion of the World,
Absolute Blues Champion coming.
Tommy Wonder saying good night, and we'll see you next time here at the PWR podcast at the Hami Media Group at podbean.com. The hell was that?
The toilet scene. It's your favorite scene.
It is my favorite scene, but that was not the sound I heard. But they didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it.